Hi now, everyone. I'm eating here my little watermelon bowl. I decided I wanted to show you all of my geckos, their names, how I make the food, how I arrange the things I have for my geckos.
So it is ratchet. I'll give it to you, but I have this little room that I use for my geckos that we don't use in the house, so I decided it was my gecko room. Here's my little doggy. Hi, little doggy. And we have Luna here. Let me show you my farm. Luna, she's a big gal, my big potato. So what I do is that I bring out a table that we have here. Every time I struggle so much to get the table up. Yo, never mind. I got it really fine.
And so I have all of my boxes here with my little geckos, and I have here 2 terrariums that I bought, like $200 each, so I cannot put all of my geckos in the terrariums. I know it's a little sad, and I want to upgrade them boxes because I don't really like to put them in small boxes like that.
But it will be coming soon. I just need to have a little bit more money about that. So what I do is that I'm gonna make the food and give them water. I take all of my boxes and I put them right here. And usually what I do is I have 2 males in those boxes, and I put a male, a female, a male, a female, because I don't want the males to be sniffing each other. I don't want them to be stressing and think that there is an enemy.
I will explain a little bit on how I name the boxes. So I always put the name here. I have it for all of my geckos. Some of them have their name tag that I draw, and I wanted it to be cute, but I didn't have time for my new geckos. So once I have all the boxes right there, I will open them up one by one, and I will just take the food dish and the water dish. My little guys right here. Hi, Harry. And I will be doing this for all of the boxes. Hi, Dior. Hi, baby. Oh, she's wiggling her tail. I'm sorry. So what I do when I do my food is that I will often clean boxes also. So here I have the lay box for my girls. I always put paper towel as a substrate. And that is all. That is all I do. I always mist the box in its hole, and I always keep the humidity up in the lay box. And for my meals, the setting is always a little bit more basic with no lay box, plants and hides, same thing here, and that is it for my setups. What I write on the boxes are obviously my geckos' names, and right beside are their gender. But I also have in blue their morphs and their birth dates. I also always track their weight that I write in green. For my females, I track their weight when they are gravid and when they aren't. For my males, I weigh them around 2 times a month. Maybe here. She's maybe here. Oh yeah, she's right here. Hi, my baby. He didn't eat much, but he did a little.
Once I have all of my dishes that I want to do, I will be soaking them up in water. And sometimes I put vinegar in the water because it disinfects all of the bowls. But soap can be poisonous for geckos, and sometimes vinegar will be good for disinfecting your dishes, your water and food bowls. So I'm gonna present to you my geckos. First, for my geckos, we have Mushu here. I'm happy because she's actually almost fired out her most. So she's like a super stripe. Like, it's not a super stripe, but pinstripe, full pinstripe. She's from Rosemary Reptiles, and she's just so beautiful. So this is my big grubule. Here she is. She has dull spots. You going? Okay. So this is grubule. She's a quad stripe, and she's dark based. My violet right here with the nip tail. This is my violet. She's my dark based Harley. She also has that pretty blush under her neck. And she just peed in my hand. So one of my skinny boys that is super horny. He's always ready to be giving his kids. This is Phantom. And he's really kind. I love him. He's a bit weird, but he's very sweet. He's not big, but he has a big pair of balls. This is Dior. This is my big girl. She was said to be creamsicle tiger. I bought her. She was expensive. It's her first season, and she's not really good at it. And here he is, my star. My poor male that has lost a lot of weight. So that's my super stripe Harry. And I love him very much too. It's my baby Raw. He's a high weight, low expression Harley. The almost full pin. Look at his belly. So he's so pretty. Yeah. And I don't want to say it, but this little girl is my favorite. It's my Cheryl. She's my first gecko, and I discovered she was a female. So she's an extreme Harley. She has portholes and she's tricolor. As she's growing, she has that little white pattern, that white here, that cream, and she's dark based. I am going to talk to you about a project that I'm thinking. It's not for this season, of course, because she's clearly too young. I made a purchase, and I will show you my purchase. Again, not fired up here. Look at this beauty. This is Bibbit. He's a tricolor lily. My little boy that I bought again from Rosemary Reptiles. It's my plug. I love Shelly so much. Shelly, kisses to you. Lots of love. So what I thought of, one of my two favorite geckos together. My tree female with my tree lily male. I thought of that. It's her first season and she's not really good at it.
I've been trying to put them together for so long now. There's a lock. And so for the food, how I do it. I always put my food in those little cups that I cut in half. It's 1 cup like this. So what I do is that I take my powder kit. It was the name it was given. I have Repashy powder that my geckos don't really like, so I mix it to finish it, but I will be continuing with Pangea. I also have this calcium in liquid because Harry was having lots of trouble. But I also do have the powder, the calcium D3+, and I also have insects. I have mealworms that I give to my babies because my adults don't want anything to do with insects. So I feed my geckos every 3 to 4 days insects, and I give them the mix for everyone every 2 to 3 days. I work in a sushi place, so I always have chopsticks, and that is what I use to mix the food. I could use a bottle that you can squeeze, but I didn't find one. So what I decided to do is that I have a little cup like this, and I put the amount of Pangea and Repashy that I need, and then I will mix it up with water, and then I'll put it in these little dishes that I created right here. So I have this little spoon. I decided this was my way to measure the amount of food that I was giving my geckos. Approximately 2 spoons of mix, and that is for adult geckos. For babies and juveniles, maybe like I have juveniles and sub-adults. I don't have any hatchlings yet. But it's around 1 spoon, 1.5 spoons, depending on if the gecko ate insects and all. You will be knowing your geckos one day and you'll know how much food to give them. But I usually give them 2 spoons of powder, not mixed, I'm sorry. I have the breeder and growth mix, the apricots that is right here with insects, figs and insects, and watermelon. I mix this and that, so because I want to finish this. Lots of breeders and gecko holders that I know will mix the powders because their geckos just love it. 16 and 17. Oh no! So now time to add the water. Usually it's written on the mixes, but it's 2 parts water and 1 part of the powder you have. And usually it's written also on the mixes, but it has to have a consistency of ketchup. Maybe like sometimes people just decide to put it a little bit thicker, a little bit more liquider, because their geckos will be needing like more things that are in the food, so it's gonna be thicker. And or if their geckos are dehydrated, they will put lots of liquider than it should be. So it's really about your geckos too. It's not always like it is rules. I think I'm inventing words. I'm starting to be really tired. So I'm starting to like what I see, but it's a little bit thicker than I would like it to be. I think we're at it. And now I just put all of my gecko's food in their little dishes. And I decide which gecko I decide to put more food in, because I have chunky gals that I don't want them to be so chunky, by example. I just realized I didn't put any calcium, but usually I always put the breeder and growth mix that has calcium in it already, so I don't add any calcium. But now I will be adding calcium, so I will add this in every little bowl, yeah, that.
and it will do the trick. The end of the preparation of the recipe. Thank you for listening, and you can come back whenever you want. You're always invited. And come back on Wednesdays, noon. That's when I post. Kisses.